Information fueled.
Opinion driven.
This is Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis.
And so, my fellow Americans,
We talk news.
Multiple arrests during ICE raids in Boston and Newark, New Jersey. We've got all kinds. By the way, I have a new illegal alien ICE theme that I'm going to be debuting today during the show. Welcome on into Nashville's Morning News for your Friday, January 24th. Hope you're doing well. So I want to, at some point today, take some calls on this. The headline, maybe you've heard of this, maybe, I don't know when this came down. I saw it this morning. Congressman Andy Ogles has now decided to bring forth, propose a constitutional amendment to allow Donald Trump to run for a third term. He has introduced this into the House. Now, I'm going to say this. I believe this is incredibly short-sighted. Because if they do this, and by the way, there's no way this is going to pass the House. There's no way it's going to pass. It's just not. But here's the thing, is that even if it did pass, do you really want the Democrats to have that same opportunity? And so to me, and I like Congressman Andy Ogles, don't call me a rhino, but I'm just telling you, that I think that this is short-sighted. I don't even know if Donald Trump wants a third term. So I don't know what his reasoning is here. By the way, Democrats, in case you don't know, they are losing their ever-loving mind over this, the possibility of a Donald Trump third term. Now, frankly, I don't care that Democrats, I don't allow Democrats or their party of stupid to control my news cycle. I just don't. So I try not to do the Democrat outrage of the day, because that would be all my show would be all about, was the outrages of the day, right?
Do you remember when Harry Reid got rid of the filibuster, and then Democrats after that realized, well, gosh, that was short-sighted?
Yep.
So, don't you think it has the same possibilities here?
Absolutely the same possibilities.
Yeah.
Barack Obama, when he left office, do you know that his approval rating was at 58%, which isn't actually terrible for an outgoing president? And so it's my contention that if Obama decided that he could run for a third term, then he could have given Trump a run for his money. Because remember, and I'm as big a fan of Donald Trump as you'll ever find, but Trump ran against Hillary Clinton, one of the absolute worst candidates ever. She was so incredibly unlikable. Still is, by the way. But if Obama had an opportunity for a third term, yeah, he could have given Donald Trump a run for his money. So I don't know if this is the best of ideas. Here's the other point. By the way, Andy Ogles says Trump has proven himself to be the only figure in modern history capable of reversing our nation's decay and restoring America to greatness, and he must be given the time necessary to accomplish that goal. He says, Andy Ogles of Tennessee, who proposed extending the current maximum of 2 elected terms. Well, here's a couple things. And again, I'm a fan of Trump, but we don't know if Trump is going to be able to reverse our nation's decay. Now, it certainly looks like he is going to be able to, especially when it comes to illegal immigration. But we've got to be careful what we put out there. Ogles saying in a statement, it is imperative that we provide President Trump with every resource necessary to correct the disastrous course set by the Biden administration. The congressman said in a statement, he is dedicated to restoring the republic and saving our country, and we, as legislators and as states, must do everything in our power to support him, says Ogles, a hardline conservative who is serving his second term in the House of Representatives. By the way, the resolution comes 2 months after Representative Dan Goldman, a New York Democrat, introduced a House resolution that reaffirms that the 22nd Amendment applies to 2 terms in the aggregate as President of the United States, and that the amendment applies to the 78-year-old Donald Trump. So I'm curious. First of all, you guys, I don't have it open yet. KGB, Jeff Malinoff, do you have the super text line open?
I do.
So I'm going to take some calls on this later, but I want like an instant poll. How do you feel about this? Yes or no? Oh, and by the way, our YouTube poll is, as a matter of fact, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Our Daily Dan poll is, how did you frame it?
Should Congress amend the Constitution to allow a president to be elected to a 3rd term? Because, again, it's not they can serve, they have to be elected to that 3rd term.
Right.
That's the important part of that. And
Yes.
Right now, it's a resounding no to start off, obviously.
Is it a resounding no? Okay.
Yeah, it's right now of all the votes, we had a lot of votes coming in early. 77% say no. Because
Donald Trump apparently is open to it. Over the course of his political career, Trump has repeatedly hinted at his willingness to serve more than 2 terms in office, saying, I suspect I won't be running again unless you say, he's so good, we've got to figure something else out. Trump repeatedly mused to House Republicans during a private meeting back in November, shortly after his electoral victory over Democratic former Vice President Kamala Harris. And again, people are freaking out about this on the left. Because, what this does is it plays, and I don't care that they're outraged, because if it wasn't outraged over this, it'd be outraged over something else. So I could give 2 craps what the left is outraged over. But this plays right into their narrative of, oh my God, he thinks he's a king. So we'll have to see what happens. How old is Donald Trump?
78. So if he did run for a 3rd term, 86 is when he'll finish.
He'd be done at 86. Now, listen, age is just a number. I keep telling myself that. But it's all about mental cognition. It's all about how well you are cognitively as far as your mental acuity. We said that over and over again with Joe Biden. My friends on the other side of the aisle, my Democrat friends, once Joe Biden dropped out of the race and it was Kamala Harris, then you had all these folks, the people on the left texting me or private messaging me or tweeting at me, hey, how does it feel to have the oldest candidate in the race? And of course, I just paid no mind to them, because I've said incessantly, it's not about age. It's about whether or not they can do the job. And we all know that Joe Biden could not do the job. But I don't know. I think this is tremendously short-sighted. The other thing is we have a ton of really good Trump-like conservatives that are being schooled and educated by Donald Trump. I mean, look at the names that we have on our side of the aisle. Obviously, we have J.D. Vance. We have Byron Donalds. I still like Ron DeSantis. Elise Stefanik is one of my favorites. Not to mention you've got Tom Cotton and Josh Hawley. We have a guy named Brandon Gill. I've not heard of Brandon Gill, but he is only 30 years old, and he is a rock star coming into the House from Texas and its 26th congressional district. I don't think we need to do this. So I want to know from you via the super text line, or also, and I'm going to take calls on this later, because it's kind of a local story. And you know what I'm wondering? You know what my conspiracy theory is, Joan? Hold on. I can't do it right now. Do you think the folks in Trump's orbit put Andy Ogles up to this? Because it feels a little random. I mean, the man just started his 2nd term. And so it does feel a little random that out of nowhere, the congressman for the 5th has decided that he wants to amend the Constitution to allow a 3rd presidential term for Donald Trump and obviously for any other presidents down the road.
If he did, he's just trolling.
That's the other thing, Joan, I thought about. Is Ogles just trolling people?
No, I mean like President Trump is just trolling.
Oh.
He's using Andy Ogles to troll the Democrats into having more of an insane reaction.
Do you think that is so Trumpian?
Yeah, it would be
That
Trumpian.
is so Trumpian.
Yeah.
I don't know. You think this is just a troll? Do you think this is a great political troll from Donald Trump? I think that'd be funny as all get out.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I would find that funny. I don't know if there's a seriousness to this or not. I would find that funny. Now, KGB, what are people saying? Again, go watch us on YouTube. You can watch us, and you can also take the poll. And right now, I want to know what people are saying on the super text line. I also want to know what the poll is, the Daily Dan poll.
So, chat line, it's a resounding no still. Both sides are both resounding no's. Right now, in the poll, on the Daily Dan poll, it's 86% no. This is like a hard pass kind of thing. And someone said in the text line that I really liked, TDS is a two-sided coin. And I kind of understood what they meant by that. It's like, maybe some people are too obsessed with Trump that they're overly supporting him to a point where it's like, oh yeah, at 86 he'll be fine, because we don't know. That's a decade from now.
We
in a
have
sense.
no idea.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, is that they're right. Remember, we've always said, if you're a true conservative, it's not about the man. It's about the policies. And I love Donald Trump's policies. I love... There's some things that are going to be a swing and a miss. There's going to be some things that he does that I'm not going to agree with. I'm trying to think of one right now. I know that there have been. I know that in the past I have criticized Donald Trump. I don't remember what it was now, because by and large, I mean, I've been on board with everything that the current president has done. I'm sure if I tried really hard, I could think of something, but I don't remember right now. But I just... Number one, I don't think this would pass congressional approval. That's number one. Number two is I just don't think it's a good idea. I do believe that it is short term. I love Jones' idea. I love Jones' thought that maybe this is just a big time troll. Because I think that Donald Trump, I think that this is a man, I believe, who appreciates a good troll. By the way, KGB and Joan, can you guys make a guess as to which president left office with the highest approval rating ever? KGB, you're first.
Well, thing is, leaving office, that's tough. Because I know, like, whoever had, like, the highest ever was, like, I know W after 9/11 had, like, 80%. It was something absurd. But I think it dropped pretty bad after 2008. So if I have to make a guess, I would say FDR, honestly.
Okay, Joan?
Woof, this is really hard. Because it's hard to imagine how they left office knowing how they came into office, Jimmy,
right.
So I'll just go with Reagan because I love him.
Yeah. I was going to say Reagan, but I think because it's been so long ago, people don't understand how much FDR was beloved before he passed.
So Ronald Reagan, he left office, it looks like it was 80...
Was it that high?
No, he's doing that.
No, hold on.
Year. I was about to say that. I don't think it was
Ronald
that
Ronald Reagan had a higher approval rating, the highest approval rating when he left office, January 89, 63%.
Okay.
According
Nice.
to Gallup polls.
It was between him and FDR for me. I didn't want to say Reagan because I knew he had some
You know what? I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
Oh, no.
Bill Clinton.
What?
Bill Clinton, they say, left office in January of 2001 with an approval rating of 68%. Reagan also had a high approval rating when he left office in January of 89 with approximately 63% according to Gallup polls. Both of these figures are often cited as among the highest for outgoing U.S. presidents in modern times.
Clinton? I mean, I guess he was a player at the end there.
In more ways than one.
Kevin, WTN.